Hey guys, welcome back to Doorknob Confessions. I am here with my host, Gabby, and we are so excited to have you guys back and listening.
Yeah, welcome back, you guys. Welcome to the homeland. Welcome to Roomlands. Do you remember that on TikTok?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Was that COVID or like post-COVID? That was fucking crazy.
I think that was like COVID vibes.
Yeah, that was COVID vibes. Just people having full-on crash outs on TikTok.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
Oh, man. Well, anyway, hope you guys aren't crashing out. And if you are, hey, well, you know, we're all human.
Welcome.
Welcome. You're safe here.
You're safe here. So I was just telling Gabby, I went to pick up my dress today. I'm getting married next week. I think this is going to come out like, I think the week of the wedding. And so
yes, it is. Congratulations. Right now you're getting married. As this is playing in someone's ears, you are getting married. Oh my God.
Literally walking down the aisle. And I have a surprise that I can probably tell you because my partner doesn't listen to this podcast anyway. So I'll tell you guys the surprise. He was like, do you want me to listen to this? And I was like, he's like, is that a supportive thing for me to do? And I was like, you don't have to listen to it. You hear me blab enough. Literally all the time.
No, same. Yeah.
But I was going to pick up my dress and I got my dress at this beautiful like bridal gown customization place. And there were a lot of models there every time I went for my fitting. But this most recent time I went for my fitting, there was like a supermodel there. And I didn't know who she was, but like everyone that was working there was like, she's a supermodel. And she looked like, I mean, the dress on her just looked like she was a damn mannequin.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
But her mom was there. And her mom was talking shit about what she looked like. And it just kind of gave me this thing of like, no matter what you look like, the projection of a mother's insecurity around like body image will forever be there. And it was really fascinating to see that being emulated in like the supermodel's relationship with her mother. And I thought that was just so like telling, you know?
Yeah. That's awful. Like, you know, and it's, I think especially too, like diet culture, like I grew up in such a crazy diet culture where like you were encouraged to replace 2 meals with a bowl of Special K. Like we would eat the most chemically filled diet foods, like Snackwell's cookies. Like we would do anything to like low calorie. Everything was like low calorie snack packs, low calorie. What are you eating? What is she eating? What is he eating? Like blah, blah, blah. It's so bad. But yeah, that's wild. I mean, supermodels they have incredible figures, or also I would argue a little underweight sometimes. But like to have like your mom and your supermodel like criticizing the way you look, like, damn.
I know. And it was really wild to me. Yeah. And then I was talking to the alteration person and she was like, oh yeah, you would not believe like that is just so common like in this space.
It's giving stage mom. It's giving stage mom, narcissistic mom, dance moms, like, ooh, like
very much so. Very much so. But I got 2 dresses because I'm extra and I am obsessed with them.
Amazing.
The second dress is kind of like a little sultry, a little sexy, has a slit all the way to my hip, which like, sorry, grandma.
I love that. That sounds amazing.
It's really a vibe. I'll have to send you a picture. But my tattoo is on display for everybody to see. Nobody in my family knows I have this tattoo. For reference, it is probably like an inch thick in terms of the line. So it's a very thick, it's an ornamental, like spiritual tattoo. And so it's like tribal, has roots in like indigenous cultures, all the things. And it goes from my neck all the way to my butt. And
it's sick. It's sick. I've seen it. I've had the privilege. Yeah, it's sick.
I love it. But my family does not know about it. And in Korea, I am not allowed to go into any bathhouses or the gym. Or I'm allowed to go into the gym, but I just can't change there. I have tried and I was kicked out because of this tattoo. Wow. Which is slightly humiliating when you're like half dressed and they tell you to get out.
That's wild.
And so I am worried because I have about 20 to 30 Korean family members coming. Some of them are my family members and some of them are my partners. And I'm a little scared.
What? So like nobody in your, like not even your parents, like no one knows you have that.
My parents know, but they're
Okay.
American, so it's a little different. They're kind of, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they fucking hate it, but they just accepted the fact that like we brought my daughter to America and we let her go to art school, and so like she has tattoos. Because I
Yeah.
have tattoos on like other parts of my body, but when
Mm-hmm.
my mom saw that my neck was tatted, she was fucking mortified.
Oh man. Oh wow. That's hard. I mean, like, I think in especially like it sounds like culturally it's just not something that is like that widely accepted. So I can completely understand like feeling like worried about how people are going to respond. Do you think anybody's going to say anything?
Oh, I mean, for sure. For sure they're going to say something, but it's just going to be like, I'm just going to laugh it off. I'm going to be like, I run my own business. You can't tell me that it's going to affect my career. In
Yeah.
Korea, the culturally, it's still perceived as like gangbangers or gangsters, people who are affiliated with gangs, those people get tattoos. Now, I think the younger generation, like Gen Z, they are considered like more bold. And so getting tattoos is a bit more common for them.
Mhm, mhm. No, that makes sense. I mean, I didn't know about that happening in Korea, but I did hear a lot about that because we've been researching Japan, and I have a bunch of tattoos. And apparently you can't go like to the onsen, and like you
No,
can't go like
you
you
can't.
like it's really, really like forbidden.
Yeah.
Um,
I will
and
say
that's
though,
interesting. Yeah.
there's one onsen that you can go to in Japan that allows
Uh-huh.
tattoos.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll need the info
So
on
you'll need
that.
to, you need to, I don't know the name of it, but you can look it up because I remember looking at it for Korea and then they were like, oh, Korea doesn't have any, but Japan does. And I was like, okay, I have qualms
Yeah.
about Japan, but anyways.
No, but good on you though, because I think like, there's a lot of people who would, let's say, buy like the tattoo covering makeup and just would
Yeah.
avoid like, any kind of like issue by like doing that and kind of hiding. But I'm really proud of you. You're not hiding. You're just saying like, this is me. Like, I'm amazing. Like, I have a
Yes.
tattoo. Like, sorry. Like, not sorry.
Yeah.
And I think that's very,
Yeah.
like, it's brave, truly. Like, it's brave
Thanks.
and
Yeah, it was a whole
awesome.
argument. It was a whole argument. It was like a week long argument my mom and I had about
Oh,
covering. She's like,
no.
please just cover it. And I was like, and I told her, I was like, you know what? I will genuinely consider it. And I thought about it for a week and it just did not sit right with me because the whole like container of the work I do is like be your authentic self and like I love my tattoos and I'm proud of them and I fucking sat for 20 hours for them and I threw up four
Wow.
times and so like it was a reclamation of my body after feeling like my body belonged to other people for so long. And so I don't feel
Mm.
good about hiding it, you know? And it's funny because every time I go to acupuncture, people love to acupuncture me. I don't know if that's a verb, but we'll use it as a verb. Stick needles into me. They love it because my tattoo actually lines up with all my meridian points, like all my chakra points. And so there are
Wow.
dots on every meridian point. And so people, whenever I go to a new acupuncturist, they're like, oh, I just need to stick it like right in that dot.
That's amazing. Did you do that on purpose? Like, tell me about the whole
Yeah.
process. Like, did you design it? Like, what made you pick that symbol? Like, I'm so
Yeah.
curious.
So the main symbol on my lower back is the lotus flower, and which is kind of like renewal, it's growth. And then there are a lot of different ornamental things, and then there are dots, and it's more so to ground those energy centers because it was mostly a tattoo for like sexual soul survival, and so like I wanted to represent something that I genuinely felt like my body was not mine after having like given it away almost for so long. And
Mhm.
I had just gotten into my relationship with my partner and it just felt like I wasn't in my body and it was kind of a dissociative state. And I felt like the tattoo was a very symbolic, very ritualistic ceremony of having to like sit through. It's a 16 gauge needle. And so for reference, typical tattoo needles are 1 gauge. And so it's times
Wow.
16. And it's meant to kind of purge everything that comes with a lot of the trauma that you end up experiencing through sexual assault. And so that's kind of where my story kind of comes from for my tattoo. But recently, when I was trying my wedding dress on, my mom saw it and my mom told my dad and was like, literally, her tattoo goes all the way to her ass. My dad was like, can I see it? Mind you, my dad has a tattoo. He got it when he was like 45. Excuse me.
Go, Dad.
And he like looked at it and he was like, what does it mean? Like, what does your tattoo mean? And I was like, I don't know if you want to know, bro. I was
Oh
like,
man.
it's just like, it's just a tattoo. I just kind of like played it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what it means. And it means so much to me. And I love it. I'm obsessed with it. And I got it when I was probably at my heaviest in terms of weight. And it was also kind of really vulnerable to like be naked essentially on a table and get tattooed when I didn't feel the most comfortable in my body. And it made me kind of fall in love with my body a bit more.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing all of that. Like, it's inspiring. It's like beautiful. Like, I can imagine like just the sense of reclamation that has to happen when you go through a process like that and you decide this is like what I'm doing for my body, for me, and for my healing. And it's so intentional. Like, the energy of all of that is just so beautiful. And you said it took 20 hours?
Yeah, it took 20 hours. It was 4 sessions of 5 hours each session. And every single session I threw up because it was so, and look, like this is not my first tattoo. I have a lot of tattoos. I have one on my sternum. I have one on my ribs. This was by far the most painful. And I don't think it was about the location as much as because my partner has a full back tattoo and he was like, it was nothing. I think it was the nature of like how it was done. And because the needles were so freaking thick, it was really painful.
I can't even imagine. I am like, my tattoos are single line tattoos. Like they're so like they use the thinnest possible needle. And like, you know, it's like, it doesn't really feel like much. I can't even imagine like a 16 times that the size of an, oh my God. It's like, I just think of a pencil, like, or something
like a charcoal pencil.
Oh, fuck. Girl, kudos to you. Like, what a powerful way to like, just like, reclaim your space, your body, like to like honor yourself and also like to like purge, like you said, like it must have been like such a purge as well of like of the stored shit. Like, cause that's a somatic release too. I mean, it's like completely
and she works
body-based.
with somatics. Like my tattoo artist is like a somatic ceremonial tattoo artist. And it was like really fucking cool. I love that. And she had like Palo Santo. She cleansed the space. Like we did cards. Like it was like a whole thing.
Wow.
But, yeah, it was like a really cool process.
That's awesome
info. But now fast forward, it's been like 3-4 years since I got it. And I am ecstatic because it looks fucking fire with my wedding dress.
Girl, this gonna look so good. It's so good.
And the corset, and like they were like, do you want us to close the corset up all the way or do you want it to show more of the tattoo? And I was like, show more.
Oh my God. It's so, and it's gonna look really, really edgy and sexy and like, but also like elegant with the combination of like the dress as well.
And I have a veil on, so like it'll slightly cover it. But my mom's like, everyone's gonna see it because you're facing us because it's the back. And I was like, yeah, that's the point, Mom.
She's like, I want you to be seen, but also, oh my God, I'm gonna have to deal with everybody talking about it. But you know, hey, sorry, like YOLO.
Oh
my God, that's so exciting. Is Jay gonna show his tattoo too?
I mean, not really, because he's in a suit. So unless he's like going to be running around shirtless, I don't think his tattoos will show.
I think you should do like shirtless Chippendales with like, you know, the like bow tie, but without a shirt, like at a certain point. God. Just for support, for like moral support, you know, solidarity.
Yeah, he hasn't seen either of the dresses though, so we're doing a first look, and I'm really, really excited about that.
I was gonna ask, because some people choose to do the first look, some people wait till like the first look is down the aisle. What made you like choose to do like a first look versus waiting till you walk down the aisle?
Well, I think it's just like we really wanted a moment to ourselves, and I tend to like black out when I'm in front of other people. I mean, I still black out when it's just him. When he proposed to me, I completely blacked out. I don't really remember. Like I was just sobbing, like viscerally sobbing, because he was just the sweetest. But the first look, I was like, I really want it to be private because I want to remember the moment and I want to have time with him before the wedding starts because I think the nerves will just be way too high if the first look is like in front of everybody. We're also choosing to do private vows. So we're going to do our vows after the first look, just me and him. And then at the aisle, like in the ceremony, we'll just do like the I, Diane, take you, Jay, to be my husband, da 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 da. But the vows itself. So we're actually going on a date on Friday to like write our vows together, and we're gonna go to a nice restaurant and like brainstorm, read examples because we don't know what a fucking vow is supposed to sound like. So I'm gonna pull some examples for us. We're not
Oh,
allowed
that's
to
like
use ChatGPT. We put some ground rules down.
stop it. I'm dead. I mean, it is a helpful tool, but probably, yeah, a good idea to let this come from the heart.
Yeah.
That's
But I'm excited.
adorable. Oh my
Yeah.
God. No, like it's so personal and so like I think, I mean, when I was getting married, we kind of eloped. We're gonna have like a formal ceremony where we do all the things, in maybe a year or so. But
Yeah.
one of the things that we loved about eloping was that it was for us. Like I I don't know. Like I think there's a lot of people who have big weddings because they feel pressure from their families
Agreed.
to like, it's more for the families, it's not for them, and then you
Exactly.
have everybody's fucking input. Oh, I want this food,
Mhm.
or oh, I want to sit by this. Oh, can I invite this plus one? Oh, we broke up. Can I have another plus one? Like, like I don't know. It's just like it's so
Oh my
chaotic and
gosh.
it never
Yeah.
feels like it's just for the couple. And one of the things that Ben and I really loved was like we had two witnesses. It was his parents. We had to
Mhm.
have them, otherwise it would have just been us. And it was us in like this beautiful like room in this like the what's called the
Mhm.
mairie, which is like the like town hall, but it's like a fancy like building. And it was this
Mhm.
beautiful old like 18th century room with like mural like decorations, very French. It
Oh,
was like chandeliers.
Lord.
It was gorgeous. But like at the end of the day, like we took photos before with like a photographer as we would be right before we went in, like all around the town, and it was beautiful. And then like we went in, and after we went out to like our favorite restaurant and like we had dinner, and it was like
I love that.
it was the best
Yeah.
wedding. Like there was no pressure, there was nobody else to impress, there was nobody to like talk to or things to coordinate. Like we just showed up and like it was for us, and it felt like,
Mhm.
yeah, this feels so right. And like when you talk about like having your first look together and doing your vows together and not doing it in front of everybody, I love
No.
that, because at the end of the day, this is about you guys and the
Oh,
love you have for each
absolutely.
other, right? And like not
Well,
everybody else.
100%. And talk about plus ones. We gave nobody plus ones unless you're married.
I love that.
Like
Good
you don't
job.
get a plus one unless you're married. And even then, I was just like, because it's a 40
Mm,
person wedding. It's very small.
hmm
Um, the ways in which we are doing it seems like a big wedding because it's very bougie and gorge, but the amount of people that are there, it's 40 people including all of our extended or our immediate family, and so it's like a handful of friends and mostly family, and I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, so you still have that intimate vibe. It's not like
Yeah.
200 people, right? Which is crazy. Like
Fuck
that
no.
that
Well,
doesn't
that's
feel
like
intimate at
traditionally
all.
what Koreans do. It's like 150, 200 is the
Oh.
minimum. And so everybody in my mom and dad's like circle were like, why aren't you doing a big wedding? Like, why aren't I invited? And they were kind of like, no, she wanted a small wedding. And like, that's what we're doing.
Nice, nice. And I
Yeah.
love it. It's on your terms. You're doing it your way.
Yeah.
It's the idea that like hopefully you only do this once, because this is the person you're meant
Knock
to
on
be
wood.
with. Knock on wood. And you got to just do it your way. Like it's your life. It's like we can't, I
Yeah.
think we live so much for other people's like approval and
Yeah.
for their happiness
Validation.
and their
Yeah.
validation. And like
Mhm.
something as big as this, it has to be for you guys. And it sounds like
Yeah.
that's what you're doing. Like amazing.
Yes. I'm excited.
When was the last time that you let yourself really have fun? I mean, really have fun. That pure, unapologetic, goofy, silly, adventurous kind of fun that you used to have before you became that responsible adult. Look, we all know you're reaching those KPOs at work, you're showing up to Pilates, you're taking care of your kids, you're doing that self-growth work, and all of that is great. But you also need to give yourself time to throw it to the wind and just play. That's just as important when it comes to creating a life that feels joyful and expansive. And that is what Camp Yūgen is all about. Camp Yūgen is the adult summer camp experience for women, by women. We are passionate about bringing women together in community to play, create, travel, and have incredible adventures, all while nurturing and healing the inner child. With curated, all-inclusive luxury trips around the world, Camp Yūgen will transport you to a whole new world, and all you have to do is show up. We take care of everything from breathtaking accommodations to gourmet food, exotic excursions, healing workshops, creative activities, transportation, and of course, pajama parties. Our next trip is coming up in May 2025 for our session in the south of France, and we would love to see you there. You'll be staying at a gorgeous 18th century chateau where you can live out your princess dreams and enjoying activities like daily yoga, breathwork, hiking, horseback riding, craft crafting, visiting local castles, eating chef-prepared meals, enjoying the pool in the sunshine with your new group of besties, and so much more. Give yourself the gift of relaxation and play and join us today. Visit www.campyūgen.com/May2025 to book your suite and get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. That's www.campyūgen.com/May2025. See you in France.
I'm excited to hear these wedding confessions that you have up.
Yeah, we have like, we were going to talk because like this episode's coming out the week that she gets married. So I was like looking at little confessions or stories to talk about that are all wedding themed. So yes, this is from BuzzFeed actually. They put together a couple of pretty good like wedding horror stories, which I thought would be pretty funny. Okay, so here's the first one. Okay. At my cousin's wedding, I paid I don't know what a dollar dance is, so someone has to tell me what this is, but I paid my dollar during the dollar dance to dance with her new husband. It was really hot and he was really sweating, like dripping on the floor sweaty. When we were dancing, he tried to spin me, slipped on his own sweat, and pulled down my strapless dress. Only one boob fell out, but it was still one too many. Luckily, everybody was nice enough to pretend they didn't even notice and has never mentioned it to this day, even 14 years later.
Stop.
I know.
Oh my God. I think a dollar dance is kind of when it's kind of like when they do the garter, when they like do like the Chippendales vibe dance.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. I could totally be wrong though, but that is honestly mortifying. My mom was asking if we're doing the garter situation, and I was like, no, he's not going under my skirt.
That's way too, for me, that's like so sexual to do that in front of like everybody. Like, I don't know. That just feels
like weird. I giggle when he does that behind closed doors. Like when he does anything with his mouth, I giggle like a little schoolgirl. Like I am not doing that in front of my freaking grandmother who's 90 years old.
You'll put her in the grave. Like she'll have a hard time.
God, literally.
Between that and a tattoo.
No, yeah, like that's way too much stimulus for her. She's like, okay, I knew you were American, but this is too much.
This is too American for me. Sorry. American. Yeah, I have to agree. If I was doing a big ceremony, I probably would not do that. And like also like, okay, question. Here's a question. Probably the answer is no. I'm guessing because it's a small wedding. Are you allowing kids at your wedding?
No.
Okay.
We have one child. She is my niece. She's the only baby in our family. She is the flower girl. And she is the most well-behaved baby I've ever met. And that's the only reason why she is invited.
Hey, you're the well-behaved baby. Everybody else can suck it.
Well, a lot of my partner's friends are married and have kids because they're like all military like families. And so they got married really young. So all their kids are older. And they were like, well, so there's no kids invited? And he's like, well, there's one kid, but she's the exception. There are no other kids other than that. And I'd be like, there are no children allowed at my wedding. And look, I was a teacher. I worked in like childcare my whole life. I love kids. I don't love them more than my wedding day.
No. I hear you. I know this is like a very controversial I think it's a very controversial subject because some people are like, well, how could then you like parents need to find care for the kids. Okay, then don't come. And, like, then don't come. Yeah, exactly. Like then don't come. But you know what? I think if I was you, I'd feel the same way. Since we eloped, I'm okay with like for our like little family ceremony that we're going to do, I'm totally fine with them bringing kids because we already got married. Like, but if it was like the first time, fuck no. Yeah. Like you're not going to, I mean, I've heard horror stories of kids like running down the aisle and like messing up, like, videos. Doing crazy stuff. Yeah.
Yes. I've seen videos and somebody was doing their first dance and this kid was like dancing on the dance floor when the first dance was going on. And I was like, look, I would kick, I mean, these aren't my words, this is my partner's word, but I would kick that kid into next week.
Just like spin, kick.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, no, because I think that like people like, listen, I love my daughter. I love her to death. I think she's the cutest little child on the whole planet. Do I think everybody else should feel that way? Of course, but they don't because it's not their kid. You know what I mean? And like, you have to like, and parents sometimes have just no boundaries with their kids. Like I can't believe they wouldn't pull that kid off the dance floor and like respect the couple's time. They're probably like, oh, it's so cute. Meanwhile, like your kid's ruining this once in a lifetime moment for this couple. And I find that to be so rude. So yeah, to prevent any of that stuff, like no kids. I get it. Totally. 100%. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm
Oh
glad you agree
man.
with me.
Listen, I'm for that. I look, because at the end of the day, this is like like I said, a once in a lifetime moment. And if you're a people pleaser, maybe you're like, oh, I feel bad. People want to bring their kids, but it's like, this is your moment. Like, do what you want. That's going to preserve it. And so you can get good photos, so you can have a good time and not be like, stressed. Like, and if that means like saying no to kids, no to kids, it's like an adult party environment too. People are drinking, like, having a good time. Like, that's not necessarily good for a kid to be around that anyway. You know what I mean? So, like, totally fine. Are you tired of feeling stuck in cycles of anxiety, depression, or self-doubt? Traditional therapy just not giving you the breakthrough that you deserve? I've been there and I know how frustrating it can be. It's time to heal from the inside out with the Infinity Program, the ultimate online program for nervous system healing and subconscious reprogramming. Created by a survivor and expert in trauma healing, this self-paced journey uses proven methods like somatic healing, mindfulness, inner child work, and nervous system repair to help you transform your mind, body, and soul. Say goodbye to old patterns and hello to a life of peace, confidence, and self-love. Visit www.omtherapycoaching.com/store and click Infinity to start your journey today. That's www.omtherapycoaching.com/store and click Infinity. And for a limited time, just because you're listening to this podcast, you can get 10% off. Just use the code podcast at checkout. It's time to reclaim your happiness. Your future self is waiting. Guys, I am not a lawyer and I am not going to pretend to be, but I do run a really, really profitable coaching business with lots of things like retreats, one-on-one mentorship, group programs, online programs, and much more. So it's really important that I protect myself with the right legal documentation. That's why I go to Coaches and Company. They have easy-to-read, lawyer-created contracts without the law firm price tag, perfect for solo entrepreneurs and people just starting out in their business. You can customize templates and use them over and over and over again with confidence that your business is protected. So if you are a service provider or a coach and definitely not a lawyer, visit www.coachesandcompany.com/ref/confessionspod today to get your contracts in order. Or just go ahead and click the link in the show notes and it'll take you right there. Okay, so here's another one. And this is also, it's because I also want to talk about this, which is like the speeches stuff. Okay. So this person said, I'm a wedding photographer, and easily the worst was when the father of the groom, apparently totally sober, gave a 10-minute toast that devolved into openly complaining that his son got to have sex with the bride and he didn't. And this wasn't a mistimed joke about how pretty she was. This was a full-on lament about growing old and how women didn't find him attractive anymore, and that all he wanted was to take his daughter-in-law to bed.
Oh my God. Wait, that gives me the ick.
A huge ick. Like, why is it that some of these people, like, first of all, he was entirely sober. So I have so many questions about his mental health and sanity.
Yes.
No excuses. But why do people take like these opportunities to make speeches and usually very drunk and just say the most out of pocket shit? Like, this is not time for your personal confessions. This is not time for like, let's like talk about embarrassing moments that happen to like the bride or the groom and like humiliate them. Like, I see that happen all the time. It's wild.
I know that is insane to me. I mean, the confession in and of itself, but just also saying that in that kind of setting is wild.
In public, like in public.
I'd be
Are
mortified.
you going to have people doing speeches at your wedding?
Nope.
Just prevent the catastrophe before it happens.
Everyone's there to have a good time, drink, and get fucking stuffed to the brim. We have food coming out every hour. And that's all I want for them. The only people that are giving a speech is me thanking everybody. Jay will not be speaking because he does not like public speaking. And I love to yap, so it's perfect. We're a perfect match made in heaven. And then my father-in-law will be giving a prayer because he's a pastor, so he's going to bless the meal. Aww. And my dad will give a welcome speech or like a thank you speech. And that's it. And then my sister-in-law will be giving a toast. Everyone will be keeping things under a minute. Except for me, because I probably will be slightly
get the memo. Well, you know what? You're allowed to be. It's your day. You take all the
Yeah.
time you need. And like, but I understand. Listen, if you're going to Diane's wedding, there are rules, strict timelines. Someone will be timing you and giving you a heads up when you have 10 seconds left, and then they're cutting the mic.
No,
Like the
literally,
Oscars.
that's literally what's happening.
I love this. And I saw on Instagram that you shared you have personalized pizza boxes for like late night meals. What?
Yes,
I'm
everyone gets
so
a pizza
sad I'm
to
not
take
going to be there.
home.
Oh my God.
To be fair, I did invite her, just so everybody knows.
No, you did. It's my daughter's birthday at the same time. So
and she's literally across the world, so I don't blame her.
I would have flown. I would have flown for this if like I did not have a child and it was her birthday.
Yes.
I promise.
I believe you. Yeah, but everyone gets to take home a pizza at the end of the night to soak up all the alcohol.
Love that. That's so smart. And like the thing too about Diane that I love that draws us together in this close, tight-knit friendship of mental health and wellness and, coolness, is your love of food. Like you're a foodie just like me. So like, I know your food is going to fucking slap. And that's one of the major reasons, besides obviously I want to see you get married. That's one of the major reasons I'm really sad I'm going to miss out on this.
That's totally fair.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing that's going to be served? Do you have a favorite?
Lobster rolls.
Fuck yes.
The lobster rolls. The demi lobster rolls. They're like the hors d'oeuvres, so they're like tiny. I'm going to pop them bitches into my mouth after I get married. It's going to be so fucking good.
Oh my God. Give me 20. Give me 30 of those. I swear to God. There's nothing better than a good fucking lobster roll. And you cannot get that in France. You can't.
So good. Oh yeah. I bet.
Maybe it's not too late. Maybe I can like have her birthday and then just like take a 24-hour trip.
That's a possibility.
Oh my God. Yeah, just wait. I will be on a plane for those lobster rolls.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see. We have time for maybe one more or two more. Let's see. Okay. So this is not my story, but my friend's. And actually it was at her cousin's wedding reception. When the guests sat down at the tables, everyone had an envelope on a plate with pictures of the bride in a compromising situation, probably like, I don't know, with the best man. The bride cheated on the groom both when they were dating and when they were engaged, which he found out shortly before their wedding. The groom had no mercy, and I respect that. So the groom put the pictures out.
Wait, that's so... Okay, so somebody was asking if I'm doing a photo slideshow, and people can contribute. I was like, why the fuck would I give up that kind of control on the day of my wedding?
Fair. Like, you don't know what they're going to put in there.
Mm-hmm. No, that's crazy that the groom would do that. I mean... It's also kind of similar to when women are like, do not shove the cake into my face. I paid like $1,000 for this makeup. And then the groom does it anyways because they think it's hilarious. And I talked to my partner about it and he was like, why? He's like, I wouldn't even do that at home. Do you think I would do that when you're wearing that expensive ass dress? And I was like, see, you get it. Like girlhood.
Oh my God. Facts. No, he really gets you. I love that.
Yeah.
And he gets it. He just gets it,
Yes, exactly. But I love these wedding confessions and I love talking about my wedding because I know that this is going to be the one and only time I get to do
I'm getting FOMO for like a little bit of FOMO. I can't wait to have my fake wedding.
Yes. No, it's not a fake wedding. It's a celebration.
It's a celebration. Okay, so we'll end with this one. This is pretty funny. Okay, so he said my cousin was arrested at my wedding reception. He decided to steal a golf cart at the country club where the reception was held.
Oh, golf carts are really expensive.
Yeah, I didn't know you can get arrested for that.
Well, it's property. It's private property.
That's true. Yeah, that would be a nightmare. I feel like things can get very rowdy at weddings, but it sounds like you have yours under control. So I'm looking forward to hearing how it goes.
I don't know. I have like 10 Marines coming, so we'll see how these go.
Either it'll be Law and Order or total chaos.
Yes, but I do know that Jay has like a pretty strong grip on all of them. So they're like, you better be on your best fucking behavior or else.
Amazing. Oh my God. Well, I know that it's going to be an amazing time. Can't wait to see photos. And we will see you when you're back from your honeymoon. And next week we'll have a special guest. I don't know who that is yet, but I will pick one. And then Diane will be back from her honeymoon and we'll jump back in with more episodes. But
Yeah,
congratulations. This is your wedding
you.
week. I can't wait for you to like enjoy this. And you'll be a wife when you get back. So
I'll be a wife.
Wifey. All right, guys. Yeah, we'll see you soon. And until next time, we love you.
Bye.
Bye.